Hey YouTube, today I want to talk to you about how I was able to make so much progress so quickly upon returning to the gym. It's all thanks to this thing called muscle memory. And no, I'm not talking about the ability to reproduce a particular movement without conscious thought, acquired as a result of frequent repetition of that movement. You know, like riding a bike or the muscle memory I'm going to talk about is the fact that it's easier to regain lost muscle versus gaining the muscle for the first time. How does it work? Science time. Let's get into it. This is a cell, and inside of it is a nucleus. The nucleus has two main functions. It serves as a repository of genetic information and as the control center. I always thought of it as the brain of the cell. Most cells in our body can only have a single nucleus. However, this doesn't apply to muscle cells. Muscle cells are different than normal cells in that they have multiple nucleuses called myonuclei. When a muscle is overloaded via a stimulus, it needs to recruit more myonuclei to grow. The more myonuclei your muscles have, the more potential for size they have. The interesting thing is that these myonuclei are not lost when muscle atrophy occurs, or put more simply, when you lose muscle. You can lose a significant amount of muscular size and your muscles will essentially have the same number of myonuclei. You can think of these myonuclei as stored or potential energy. When you retrain, you'll be able to utilize all of these stored myonuclei and regain muscle mass at a much more rapid rate than the initial build. You could even build more muscle beyond what you initially had. Aside from my own anecdotal evidence of muscle memory, there have also been numerous studies on the topic. This first study by J.C. and the homies found that when overloaded, muscles will first increase the number of myonuclei and then muscle will grow in size. It also found that the elevated number of myonuclei persisted during subsequent disuse when muscle atrophy occurred. Keep in mind the study was conducted on mice, not humans. The second study by Robert A. Seaborn, Juliet Strauss, Matthew and the homies was structured a bit differently. They studied humans and put them through 3 phases: a 7-week loading period, a 7-week deloading period, and then a 7-week reloading period. They found that muscle mass increased at a much higher rate for reloading versus loading.
Whoa!
They also found that muscle strength suggested a similar trend. Torque increased at a much higher rate with reloading versus loading as well.
Whoa!
Keep in mind, the second study had a small sample size, very small actually, only 8 men. Its results were still pretty amazing. That's enough science. I went to public school, and I'm all tapped out. Go AL. This is why I'm an advocate for getting into really good shape and putting on some quality muscle at least once in your life. Doing this once can provide lasting and recurring benefits throughout your life. If you put in the work now, you can reap the benefits of muscle memory for years to come. Think of it like a piggy bank. Each tough workout you put yourself through is an investment into that piggy bank that you can keep getting rewarded for in the future. The more work you put in, the more muscle memory you can tap into. It's the reason why I was able to make such dramatic improvements to my physique so quickly after taking an extended break from the gym. It's honestly something I've taken advantage of many times over the years. I've been very on and off with my training throughout the years, sometimes not stepping into a gym for years. Life happens, sometimes you get busy, distracted, or even injured. Thankfully, muscle memory always had my back, helping me regain lost progress and make new progress, and it can do the same for you. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one.
Okay. Put the cucumber back.